ABC News Close-Up, Women in Prison.
Prisons are supposed to correct and protect. Correct the offender, protect the citizen. Yet when the majority of these women get out of prison, they will commit new crimes, go back to prison. Why? Although it is known that extended solitary confinement can drive people insane, women are still being kept isolated as punishment for rule violations. Why? While tight control and security are constantly being enforced, women often have to be armed for their own protection. Why? The Federal Reformatory for Women at Alderson, West Virginia. The Los Angeles County Jail for Women. The State Reformatory for Women at Marysville, Ohio. With the cooperation of the authorities, ABC News took its cameras into these three institutions. Although they operate on different levels and are set up for different jobs, and although they may look pretty, they all have certain routines, practices, and abuses not apparent on the surface. It is this uniformity which we have edited into a composite picture of women in prison. Women's prisons are often seen as models for prison reform. And tonight we will look at some of the best of women's prisons and ask, what are they like? Do they protect? Do they correct? Does confinement work?
You see how the uniform looks? That's the way it makes me feel. A little box or something. You know? They just, like I said, strip you completely from downstairs. Starts downstairs till you get upstairs.
They're young. They're more often black or brown. They don't have much money, and they have children they must take care of. These are the women behind bars. Around the country every year, there are about 80,000 of them. When they arrive as newcomers, they are called fish.
Stand up and face. Open your mouth wide. Just lift your shoes off and show me the bottom of your feet. Okay?
I don't think they look at us as humans, you know, we're just fish to them. And that's the way they treat us, just like you scale a fish, they scale us.
Step inside the shower, please. Face me. Open your mouth wide. Turn around. Show me the bottoms of your feet, one at a time. Okay, I want you to spread your legs. Okay, put your hands on your buttocks. Bend over and pull yourself apart. Okay, that's fine. Okay, take a quick shower. It's cold. Okay, here's your jail clothes. And the other one. Okay, turn around. Okay, go ahead and get dressed.
Even though I'm here, I'm still a woman, but they try to strip you of everything once you get here. It's something that I think a human being shouldn't have to go through. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, you'll be in cell number 1, first cell right here. Okay, wait right up here and I'll give you your linen scan.
Although many women are in for some kind of violent crime, the majority of women are there for crimes such as larceny, drug violations, forgery, fraud, and even for prostitution and drunkenness.
It's like, you know, I know, you know, like society says you have to pay for what you do and all this, Well, I've accepted that because, you know, I'm living this type of life that evidence, you know, eventually I'm going to get busted, so I know I'm going to come to jail. You know, so that's bad enough in itself, being seen and handcuffed, you know, and all this jazz. Coming, you know, once you get here, after you go through the process of them finger playing in your hair and digging in your nose and looking in your eyes and ears and, you know, looking up your ass and everything, that takes everything.
Well-staffed, efficient, modern, this is Los Angeles County Jail for women. This is a jail planner's dream. It is all run from a central control room. The officer there can tell at a glance which gate is open and where. She can direct prisoner traffic with buttons and loudspeakers. 24 hours a day, someone is there. The prisoner's day begins at 5:30.
Morning, ladies. It's time to get up. Believe it or not. Deborah Radley, if you need a bag for your property, step up front. Pat Allen, you're going to LCMC this morning at 7:30.
You get up, you wash. Showers aren't allowed in the morning.
Can we have some toilet paper?
Every day, someone has to ask the matron for toilet paper.
Ruth, get your feet on the floor. Debbie King. Carol Corner. Annette Wurlitz. Faye Gray. Betty Evans.
Letters from home, from children, from boyfriends, from families. They're welcome, but they're reminders of where you are.
Somebody check their mail, make sure you didn't get Terry Walker's. Yeah, sure.
A mother can't help if her child is having trouble at school. A woman can't see her man that weekend. Perhaps the worst part about jail is feeling that distance.
7100 Lilac to choose and proceed to the dining room. 7100 to the dining room.
Okay, ladies, start your line.
The day has begun. You've gotten up, received your assignments. You will now go to breakfast. Everything has a schedule. Everything has been decided for you. You will have 15 minutes to eat breakfast, then you will line up again and begin your job.
Document. A study done by the Yale Law Journal found that there are fewer job training programs for women than for men. The study found that the average number of job training programs in male prisons is 10.2, while the average number in female prisons is 2.7.
It's a job. It's a J-O-B. They want you to believe it's a position, but it's not. The institution itself is run by broom, mop, and dexterity. If you don't have the dexterity, you must get the broom or the mop.
Is this training for skill? The jobs that rehabilitate, that are supposed to help a woman support herself, are more often than not low-paying, low-skilled, service-oriented woman's work. Sewing, cleaning, doing laundry, factory labor. Do you do this every day? Every day. Is this rehabilitation? No. Is this rehabilitation?
Rehabilitation? I don't know what they call it, you know. I just call it a job. Do it till I leave, you know.
You're cutting, you're sewing, you're clipping, you're hanging, you're folding, whatever the case may be, it's still factory. Many of us have never worked in a factory. Many of us will never work in a factory when we go out.
Women do the tedious work, but they also do hard work. They lift 50-pound sacks of potatoes. They cart meat and milk shipments around. Their work keeps the prisons going.
In the morning, ourselves, the three of us get about 1,400 pounds of clothes done before lunch. And that's a lot of clothes, a lot.
Much of the work doesn't pay very well. One prison pays as much as $4 a day. Many pay about 5 cents a day. A woman can work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and still not make enough to buy a carton of cigarettes. In Los Angeles, the women don't make any money, except for a few lucky ones. They do special jobs, the jobs for the officers.
The blouses, you get 5 cents a blouse, and officers' pants and shirts, they pay 8 cents for the pants and 8 cents for the jacket.
All the shirts and pants she can iron add up to $5 a week. There is some practical training. High school equivalency degrees are offered, and sometimes computer key punch courses. But still, after 2, maybe 5 years of being locked up, few women leave prison trained for a good job.
They don't have anything up here to rehabilitate them, except the school or IBM and this new course they have up there, business office. And they only pick so many out for this.
I think that one thing when we talk about vocation and education programs that are offered is that people forget to first look at the repertoire of the clients. And I think that the repertoire of the clients is so limited that necessarily the type of vocational training has to be at an entrance level to other areas. But despite what everybody says, in this society, the expectations for women, while I certainly think they're improving, that I think women are still pretty much expected to be, in the kitchen and at home.
In the kitchen and at home. That's how society thinks, so that's what prison does.
Ms. Renner? Yeah. Why are the gates down?
It's to prevent from the trustees talking to the servers. It's to prevent the inmates talking to the servers as they go through the line.
Getting to see the doctor is a daily routine. Some prisons have morning clinics, some jails have sick lines, but between the prisoner and the doctor, there is always the nurse. In Los Angeles, morning line serves 2 purposes: handing out medication and setting up doctor's appointments.
I want to see the doctor about,
Not today, Jimmy.
well, when can I see him? If I got a bad, what's today?
Yes, you may see the doctor, but more often, no, you may not. You have 30 seconds to argue your case. There's no examination. Then you move aside to let the next person try her luck. There is often a shortage, even a severe shortage of medical staff. There is no shortage of pills.
They have Miltown, Thorazine, and Milleril. I've been taking medication called Sinequin, and it's supposed to be a nerve medication, but it's just really to try and control your mind. It's more or less keep you walking around like a zombie, because it's the way it did me. You know, like I was so messed up with the Milleril, I have walked into a pole, and I've got a scar up here to prove it. And it didn't even hurt.
It didn't even hurt. That's what the officials want. That's what the women want. Take a pill and your stomach doesn't hurt. Take a pill, prison life itself doesn't hurt.
Would you tell me what kind of medication you're handing out?
Well, there's Sinequin and Valium and Mellaril and Elavil and Equagesics and Librium and Edrofon, Miltown, just a little bit of everything.
Most of those names that you mentioned are what kind of,
The majority are nerve. They're what Dr. Leslie orders. They're the pills the psychiatrist orders for them.
I see. Are most of them tranquilizers?
Well, of a sort, yes.
I don't
It just
understand.
kind of helps to keep them more relaxed and where you can handle them better.
Count time, all inmates prepare for count.
Count time, all inmates prepare for count. Count time, all inmates prepare for count. Count time, all inmates prepare for count.
One is closing.
Keeping track of the prisoners, tight security, traffic control. All these things make up the basic business of corrections.
Come on, Alma, get up and sit on the edge of your bed like everyone else. Okay, I want you facing the officer's station. I want you to take this time to straighten up your beds if they're messy. If you have something in your hand, set it down. Okay, when everyone's setting up facing the officer's station, put what you've got in your hands down.
Control. That's the name of the game, where a number is counted, not a person.
They really have us in here as dogs, you know? But they're wearing the badges. We're not. So we got to go along with it, you know? They're doing their job just the way they say it, you know? And that's why I say, in a cell, you're a dog to them. They're your master. When they say something, you best bark to it, you know, because...
You know, we can talk at the table, but we're not supposed to talk to people next to us, which I wasn't talking to nobody, but I was looking. And she didn't like that, so she put me out of the line, which is embarrassing, you know. And everybody looking and wanting to know, what are you doing there? You know, and I'm sitting up in the day room like some fool by myself, you know. And when she came back, she gave me a little lecture, you know, like a little naughty kid. Don't do that no more.
You can't congregate. For instance, Forrest was standing down there talking the other day, laughing, talking. They wanted to know what we were congregating about, like we were going to jump somebody. that sort of thing. Just little petty things that get on your nerves. And if you holler back, you're going to lockup. You don't dare holler back.
It makes you feel very immature because of the rules they have here, do's and don'ts. You can't do this, you can't do that.
They want you to act like grown, mature women, but yet they treat you like children.
You're never right. You can never be right. The women can't go to the potty, as they say. You have to be on the potty list.
And you must say, Miss So-and-so, may I have my medication?
In the dining room, you're not supposed to sit with another cottage.
You have to have a pass to go to school. You have to have a pass to go up in the front.
No holding hands, walking down the line. No lollygagging, as they call it. No combing another woman's hair. Physical contact. You can't pluck another woman's eyebrows. You can't stand in another woman's door. You can't accidentally walk in the bathroom on a woman.
So they treat you like children, and when you begin to act like children, then they want to lock you up because first thing they'll say, well, that was childish. Don't you think that was rather childish?
I've never felt like this before in my life. It makes you feel bitter. They try to take everything away from you, but it only makes you cold inside and builds up a whole lot of hatred. It's just like having a pressure put down on you, that you can't get up off of, and sometimes when you lay down and go to sleep, you wish that you would never wake up the next morning so you wouldn't have to go through the same thing that you went through the day before.
If people are treated like children, I think, no question, maybe sometimes they are, but I think at times they behave like children. They don't behave like, whatever a mature adult is.
It's possible that you might violate some kind of a minor regulation here, and somebody might have to call it to your attention and scold you for it. But in general, it's not that easy to get into serious trouble. We have rules about behavior in the institution. Insofar as rules are concerned, they're in your packet, and they describe the kinds of behavior for which penalties can be exacted. And they're not very unusual.
Matron was sitting at the desk. I had an accident. I came on my monthly. I asked her, could I go to my room? So she insisted that I pull down my panties and let her see my soiled panties, and I wouldn't do it.
Anything that is out of the ordinary, you should challenge. It's part of your job to challenge why they're going or coming at a different time or why they're requesting. And she said it was personal reasons, but she refused to show proof. She would have been let back immediately if she had shown her proof that she needed to go to her room.
To me, it's a very private thing, to have to pull down your underclothes in front of somebody and you're sore and show it to them. I just didn't feel like I had to prove it. So she let me go to my room eventually, but told me that I was going to get a ticket and have to go to disciplinary for disobeying a direct order.
I think any normal person gets embarrassed about their private parts of their body. And it would be normal to be embarrassed about it.
But you insist upon that embarrassment.
This is the rule.
Step inside. Stand clear, the doors are closing.
When I hear that they're going to close a door or something, my head just wants to bust. Just hearing that bang. They slam it so hard where it goes all through your system. Gives you chills all the way from your toes all the way up to your head.
But I think the worst punishment is the inactivity. They could let us out in the yard for a few minutes. You know, they got enough security to take us out in the sunshine. We never see what the light of day is. We don't know what the weather is unless we look up there at the window and see rain or see sun. And a lot of girls do as high as a year in here this way. You know, unless they want to work. Work to me is privilege in here, because Jesus Christ, who wants to sit in a cell?
Laying in this cell here, you know, the only place you could look out is to the bars. You know, and that's it. You could see a window, it's right behind the bars. You know, and all you see is these bars, and I'll tell you what, I counted all these bars in this cell here, and there's 97 bars here in this cell. You know, and just say, all I say is, oh my God, I'm behind them.
I think you're escaping from reality. I know I am. You know, I don't like people. I don't trust people. I don't like this world. I don't like anything about it. All we're doing is waiting to die. You know, we die a little every day.
Yeah.